Since last year, in Miami, I have been meeting with leaders and thinkers of this community. I have talked with Bitcoin miners, policymakers, economists, financial experts, investors, developers, and entrepreneurs that deepen my understanding of the extraordinary promise of Bitcoin for our country and our planet. Then, with everything I have learned, I intend, as President of the United States, to sign an executive order on the first day, instructing the Department of Justice and U.S. Marshals to transfer the approximately 200,000 Bitcoins in the possession of the United States government to the United States Treasury, where it will be kept as a strategic asset on my first day as President. I will sign another executive order instructing the United States Treasury to purchase 550 Bitcoins daily until the United States builds a reserve of at least 4 million Bitcoins and a dominant position that no other country can overtake.
Bitcoin is the future, and now government officials are understanding it too. According to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., if he had the power, he would sign an executive order on the first day to transfer the approximately 200,000 Bitcoin the United States government holds to the Treasury, where they would be retained as a strategic asset. Recently, he talked about his vision to integrate Bitcoin into America's economic and national security strategies. He even promised that all Bitcoin-to-dollar transactions will not be recorded, a move he believes will catapult Bitcoin's value to hundreds of trillions of dollars. Make sure to stay until the end of the video, where Robert Kennedy reveals the exact steps he will take to turn America into a Bitcoin powerhouse. If you enjoy staying up to date with financial content, consider subscribing or liking the video. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Now, here's why Robert Kennedy is positioning Bitcoin as America's next strategic reserve.
Our nation holds approximately 19% of the world's gold reserves. This policy will give us roughly the same proportion of the total Bitcoin. The ripple effect of these actions will eventually move Bitcoin towards a valuation of hundreds of trillions of dollars. I will also sign an executive order directing the IRS to issue public guidelines so that all transactions between Bitcoin and the United States dollar are non-reportable transactions.
And by extension, they're not subject to tax.
On my first day as President, I will also sign an executive order directing the IRS to treat Bitcoin as an asset eligible for a 1031 exchange in real estate. Now I want to say a few words about my observations regarding the Bitcoin community, of which I consider myself a part. Despite their different viewpoints, I found that the most remarkable feature of the Bitcoin community is this kind of paradoxical juxtaposition marked by fierce divisions on various minor issues and an overwhelming sense of unity. Within the broader Bitcoin ecosystem, the Bitcoin community reminds me of how American politics should be. Fiercely diverse, yet ultimately united in our aspirations, in our faith in our country, and in our convictions that the United States is worth fighting for.
Robert Kennedy Jr. believes that integrating Bitcoin into the economic framework of the United States can secure the nation's future. He argues that, if elected, he would use executive orders to make bold moves, like transferring 200,000 Bitcoin that the government holds to the United States Treasury to be maintained as a strategic asset. Kennedy's goal is to elevate the United States to a dominant position in the global Bitcoin reserve, similar to the country's 19% share in global gold reserves. By building a substantial reserve of Bitcoin, around 4 million Bitcoin, he envisions a ripple effect that would increase Bitcoin's value to hundreds of trillions of dollars, securing America's financial power.
And in the end, we all come together again, united in our belief that Bitcoin is a technology for freedom, for optimism, for independence, for democracy and transparency. It is the currency of hope. It is the perfect currency. It is an elegant, poetic, beautiful, and pure kind that aligns perfectly with the highest ideals and aspirations represented by the American experiment with self-governance. It is incorruptible, has integrity, and has its own sovereignty. It encourages personal responsibility and accountability. It's decentralized and democratic. It's small in terms of government and huge in terms of personal freedom. Bitcoin is anti-war, a fierce, relentless, and unbeatable enemy of government corruption.
Kennedy also believes this change could bring new freedom and transparency to American financial systems. He plans to sign another executive order to ensure that all Bitcoin-to-dollar transactions are not reportable and not recordable, effectively removing tax barriers and encouraging wider use of Bitcoin. Furthermore, he proposes allowing Bitcoin to be treated as an eligible asset for tax-free exchanges in real estate under the IRS Section 1031 exchange rule, a move he believes will boost real estate investments. Kennedy's stance on Bitcoin is rooted in his experience with financial censorship. His turning point was the freezing of truckers' bank accounts by the Canadian government during the Ottawa protests, where he saw firsthand how transactional freedom was undermined. Without access to their own funds, the protesters were deprived of essential resources, facing financial devastation and social exclusion. For Kennedy, this event underscored the need for financial independence from government control and reinforced his commitment to Bitcoin as a tool to protect individual sovereignty.
Since last year, in Miami, I have been meeting with leaders and thinkers of this community. I have talked with Bitcoin miners, policymakers, economists, financial experts, investors, developers, and entrepreneurs that deepen my understanding of the extraordinary promise of Bitcoin for our country and our planet. Then, with everything I have learned, I intend, as President of the United States, to sign an executive order on the first day, instructing the Department of Justice and U.S. Marshals to transfer the approximately 200,000 Bitcoins in the possession of the United States government to the United States Treasury, where it will be kept as a strategic asset on my first day as President. I will sign another executive order instructing the United States Treasury to purchase 550 Bitcoins daily until the United States builds a reserve of at least 4 million Bitcoins and a dominant position that no other country can overtake.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates on cryptocurrencies and leading-edge finance content. Thanks for watching.